Have you ever looked up a flight and wondered, how can two planes flying to the same city, leaving just hours apart, have prices that look like they belong to two different worlds? One ticket costs like a fancy dinner, and the other could buy you a new phone. What's really going on behind those unpredictable flight prices that make travelers scratch their heads and airlines quietly smile? Well, buckle up, because today we're going on a journey far beyond the check-in counter, deep into the invisible system that decides what your ticket really costs, and why sometimes you're paying not for the flight itself, but for a web of fuel politics, hidden airport taxes, and secret airline algorithms that never sleep. Imagine this. You're sitting at your laptop scrolling through flight options for your dream trip. The same airline, same route, maybe even the same day, but one seat is double the price. It feels random, right? It's not. Airlines don't pull these numbers from thin air. Every cent on your ticket has a story, and it starts thousands of feet below the clouds, with oil. Jet fuel is the lifeblood of aviation, and its price is chained directly to the pulse of world politics. When geopolitical tensions rise, say, a conflict flares up in an oil-producing region or trade routes get disrupted, fuel prices can swing wildly overnight. The ripple effect is instant. Airlines that were budgeting for stable costs suddenly face multi-million-dollar shortfalls. And since they can't print money, they do the next best thing. They pass those costs straight to you, hidden neatly inside your updated fare. The truth is, every flight you take is partially priced by decisions made in boardrooms and war rooms, continents away. When oil markets panic, so do ticket systems. But that's only part one of this invisible puzzle. Because once your plane lands, the airport starts collecting too. Every time your flight touches down or takes off, the airport charges the airline for the privilege of using its runways, gates, air bridges, baggage systems, and even the tiny inch of tarmac where your plane rests before pushback. These fees, known as landing charges and airport taxes, can quietly eat up a shocking part of your ticket. Some major international airports charge airlines tens of thousands of dollars for a single landing, especially during peak hours. And guess who ends up paying that bill in the end? You, the traveler, the one looking for a good deal. You might think your ticket is paying for your seat and a snack, but in reality, it's funding a network of airport workers, radar operators, safety inspectors, cleaning crews, and even the flickering runway lights that guide pilots home through fog. Still, airport taxes and fuel costs alone can't explain the strange science of airfare. The real mystery lies in the algorithms. Airlines use a system called yield management, a kind of artificial intelligence that constantly monitors how people are booking, what routes are filling, and how much travelers are willing to pay. It's not about fairness, it's about psychology. If the system notices that people are buying tickets quickly for a specific destination, it assumes demand is high and automatically increases prices. If bookings slow down, it lowers them. But here's the twist. These systems don't just look at human behavior, they learn from it. That's why you'll sometimes see ticket prices go up just minutes after you searched for them. Your search data, your cookies, even your browsing habits can feed into the global pricing web. In a sense, your own curiosity can make your next click more expensive. Creepy? Maybe. But effective? Absolutely. Now let's talk about something people rarely mention: aircraft maintenance. Every time a plane flies, it undergoes a complex cycle of mechanical checks. From the engines that burn thousands of gallons per hour to the landing gear that absorbs literal tons of impact at touchdown, everything must be inspected, calibrated, or replaced on schedule. A single engine overhaul can cost millions, and while airlines have maintenance teams working around the clock, those costs don't just disappear. They're divided and sprinkled across every ticket sold. That's why a flight on an older, high-maintenance aircraft might quietly cost more than one on a brand-new, fuel-efficient model, even if the routes look identical. Airlines are constantly balancing a tricky equation: keep prices low enough to attract travelers, but high enough to pay mechanics, pilots, flight attendants, and thousands of ground crew. Because behind every flight, there's an army of people you'll never see: load planners, weather analysts, dispatchers, catering staff, refuelers, all of whom make your travel experience look effortless. Their salaries, training, and benefits all roll into your ticket price. The irony? The more efficiently an airline runs, the less you notice how complicated and expensive this machine called aviation really is. And then there's competition, or sometimes the lack of it. Some routes are dominated by one or two carriers who know they control your options. These monopoly routes are notorious for higher prices. For instance, flying between small regional airports or islands can sometimes cost more than crossing an entire continent, simply because there's no one else offering that flight. Meanwhile, big city hubs with fierce competition, like New York, London, or Dubai, often see wild fare wars that drag prices down for a while, only to shoot up again when one airline pulls out. It's a constant tug-of-war between demand, supply, and corporate strategy. Add to that the influence of global alliances, where airlines partner up and agree on pricing across routes, and the illusion of competition fades even further. You might think you're choosing between two airlines, but in the background they might be splitting profits from the same flight. Still following? Because here's where things get even deeper. The time you book matters more than most travelers realize. Ever wondered why prices change not just by day, but by hour? Airlines track millions of data points: holidays, school breaks, weather patterns, even global events, to predict when travelers are most likely to book. It's called dynamic pricing, and it's one of the most powerful tools in aviation economics. That's why a flight might be cheap at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, but double the price at noon the next day. In some cases, the difference can be hundreds of dollars, all because a computer somewhere decided people are more desperate to buy right now. In other words, your flight isn't priced by distance, it's priced by timing, psychology, and a silent AI that knows when you're likely to cave. Now, if you think loyalty programs and airline credit cards are helping you save money, think again. These systems are carefully designed to make you feel like you're getting rewarded, when in reality, they're feeding your data back into the pricing machine. The more the airline knows about your habits, how often you travel, how loyal you are, what destinations you prefer, the more accurately it can predict what you're willing to pay. So while you might think you're earning free miles, you're also teaching the system how to charge you better next time. It's like playing poker against a dealer who already knows your hand. And we haven't even touched on one of the biggest modern price influencers: sustainability. As global pressure mounts for airlines to go greener, they're investing in newer, cleaner aircraft and sustainable aviation fuels, SAF. These eco-friendly fuels cost significantly more to produce than traditional jet fuel. And right now, only a small fraction of airlines are using them. But when they do, the cost doesn't stay with them. It flows directly to your ticket. In the future, you'll see airlines proudly advertise carbon-neutral flights. But behind that badge lies an extra fee you didn't notice. It's not a scam. It's the new reality of flying responsibly. Now picture this. You're boarding your flight, thinking you got a great deal, sipping your coffee while scrolling Instagram. Around you are 100 other passengers, each of whom probably paid a different price for the same seat size and the same journey. Some paid twice as much, others half, but the plane doesn't care. It flies the same distance, burns the same fuel, and lands at the same airport. The reason you all paid differently is that airlines aren't selling seats, they're selling probabilities. Probabilities of when you'll buy, how desperate you are to fly, and how much you're willing to stretch your wallet for comfort or convenience. In a sense, every flight ticket is an invisible auction happening in real time, where the bidders don't even know they're participating. And if all that wasn't complicated enough, let's add one final twist: the human factor. Pilots, flight attendants, engineers, and air traffic controllers are the backbone of aviation, and their expertise comes with a cost. The pandemic reshaped the entire labor landscape of the airline industry. Staff shortages, retraining programs, and safety protocols all added new layers of expense. When the world reopened, airlines had to rebuild operations from the ground up, often paying higher wages to attract skilled workers. These human costs unlike fuel or taxes, don't fluctuate daily. They're permanent, which means even when fuel prices drop, your ticket might not, because people keep the system running, and keeping them happy costs money. So the next time you see two wildly different prices for the same destination, remember, it's not random. It's a cocktail of global oil politics, airport economics, digital surveillance, corporate strategy, and human labor. It's an orchestra where every instrument, from the refueling truck to the marketing team, plays its part in shaping what you pay. Flying has never been cheap. It's just been cleverly disguised. And the truth is, the number you see on your booking screen is the last stop in a long chain of hidden decisions stretching across continents, time zones, and even conflicts. Now here's the real kicker. As AI continues to evolve, flight pricing is about to become even more personal. In the near future, your location, income bracket, search history, and even your device type might influence your fare. You could be sitting next to someone who paid $200 less, simply because their algorithmic profile looked less likely to spend. Fair? Not really, but that's where aviation is headed. Into a world where ticket pricing isn't just economics. It's behavioral science, so why do some flights cost more than others? Because no two tickets are ever truly the same. They carry invisible weight, the cost of safety, strategy, data, and human effort. Behind every boarding pass is a silent story about fuel tanks in the Middle East, data servers in Silicon Valley, and airport workers in neon vests guiding steel giants into the night. It's a reminder that when you pay for a flight, you're not just buying a seat in the sky. You're buying into one of the most complex, interconnected systems humans have ever built. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you see that expensive ticket, you'll realize you're not just paying for a journey, you're paying for the miracle that makes flight possible.